6 and 4. And these two kids, they played all the time. They were completely in sync with one another, full harmony. Everything was great. And one time they didn't come home. Now this is an old school mother. Young, but old school. Street lights came on because we had to be home. You understand?
Oh yeah.
They didn't come home, but they always did the right thing. 6 and 4, but they always did the right thing. And this time they didn't do it. So she immediately knew something was wrong. She immediately understood that my kids don't behave this way, so she's called the cops. Cops went out, small city. They couldn't find the kids. They didn't find them until the next morning. The next morning they found the 4-year-old chest deep in a sand dune, barely breathing. As the police officers move away the sand, he begins to immediately start breathing again. And they asked the 4-year-old, hey, come, you're right. They asked the 4-year-old, hey, where is your older brother? And he replies, I'm standing on his shoulders. And that's really what I want to talk to you about. Finding someone to die on. There has to be some good tools for dating. You see, the 6-year-old gave his life for the life of the 4-year-old. Now, that seems a bit morbid, but when you think about dating, or when you think about coexisting with one another, it's really down to that much. It really is down to, am I willing to die for you? Am I willing to die for what you dream in? For instance, me and you are dating, and you going to get your education. Am I going to start an argument every time you open up a book? Or am I going to be willing to die for your happiness? When you truly think about it, in order for us to coexist, you must coexist by losing. See, we don't like that kind of talk. That's not the kind of talk we grew up with. As a man, I was told not to cry. And I fell down at 1 year old and said, boy, get your butt up. Don't you cry. I had to walk through puddles. I'm supposed to not show emotions. I'm supposed to be as hard as possible all the time. And then I got grown and I messed up a woman because my parents messed me up. Because I was not supposed to understand you. I was not supposed to be nurturing. I didn't get nurtured until I went to therapy. Imagine being 30 plus years old and never being nurtured until your therapist is doing the nurturing. And these are the people you date. You are dating someone like me, willing to rip your whole life apart because we've been taught incorrectly. We've been taught to win. Win, 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 win. But we've never been defined what winning is. Think about it. If winning is lateral, if I'm always winning, it means whoever's equally yoked with me is always losing. And if I'm always on the winning side, and me and you was dating, you always on the losing side. And the people in your life are more destructive than the food you put in your mouth. That's science. That's pH balance. You mentioned it. This is the higher acidic your body is, the more that homeostasis is off, the more diseases will fester inside. This is science. We don't get to disagree with science. The whole point of science is not to be right, it is to be objective. The first thing you want to do, tools of dating, is you want to immediately know your value. Now watch it, the same way I said winning, you put a meaning on winning, just like you put a meaning on the phrase know your value. And this is a problem here. Let's see if we can, I don't know if y'all remember, you remember sentence diagramming? Have you know how they make you do the okay, we go, she's, okay, you think, oh, you should love what I'm about to do there. Okay, good. Let's do some sentence diagramming here for a second. And since she teaches English, there is an understood subject in know your value. That subject would be second person, well in this case, second person plural, you know your value. Therefore, know is operating as the subject of the sentence at the same time, but it has something on it, which is a verb. It is doing something. This knowing is something you need to do. So when you know your value, it's an action. You don't get to know your value and never study you. I worked all night on that one. I thought I would have gotten a bit more reaction, you know what I'm saying?
Like this is,
okay, all right. You can't know your value and then just sit there silently. Nor can you read a book and know your value. You got to read another book and another book. And it's not one book that changes you. It is the habit of reading a book over and over and over that changes you, but it can't be Zane's. You understand? I forgot. You understand? You understand? That's another value. We got that part. You let that part on the school bus. You understand? What we need to do is knowing is an ongoing action. So I really would like to tell you knowing your value. Because knowing becomes a participle. A participle states that there's an action that is ongoing with no end in sight. I haven't specified the ending of this knowing. It means that as long as you are knowing, I haven't determined when you'll stop that action. That's how your life should be. Because the moment you don't want to know you is the moment you give me permission not to know you at all. The absolute moment that you decide not to know you is the absolute moment I get to take you for granted. I get to know what you think makes you sound good, look good, and I get to pretend to be that. And then you with me for 5 years and I switch on you. Anybody had somebody to switch on you?
switch your roof.
Okay, and you done switched on you. Let me tell you, I didn't become a man until I was 25.
Sometimes you have to switch it up.
Yeah, child, you got to switch it completely up, huh? And I completely get it. But knowing your value is an ongoing action. But here's the problem with that. Value has to be juxtaposed or set aside something so you can truly understand what it is. In order for me to say more, you have to have the understanding that this is a comparative verb. It is compared to something. There's gradations or there's levels to, no, you said levels. There's levels to this moreness. If you know your value, value is sitting against something that has value. You want to make sure your value is sitting against something of great value. Because if you don't, then you want to make sure your value is sitting next to something that has great value. Because if you don't, people will literally treat you according to the value you put on yourself. You will be treated according to where you put your value at. And let me tell you something, my value ain't down here. It ain't up here. It ain't even in this building. It ain't even in the atmosphere. I got trash cans on Pluto I ain't even discovered yet. Because you not fit to walk into my life and determine where I go. It's just not for to happen. It's not for to happen. I don't mean no disrespect. We can go there together. But what we not gonna do is put me on pause so you can go and get to my insecurities. Hell no. Not happening. It's not. But you need to adopt the same attitude. So when you say, okay, I know my value, it's an ongoing action. You is the doggone subject. Not what some motivational video said. If you can use it to get to you, use it. But if it sounds good and you never get to you, use the problem. I heard T.D. Jakes say in a sermon one day that real preaching is when he gets past your representative. Because you sitting there looking real good. You know, you got on the red bottoms, the perfume, and the suits. You understand. You looking real good. But that real goodness of you ain't really doing nothing. It's when it get past that looking the real good to the you that's broken. That's when work actually begins. So you're going to have to know your value in that when work actually begins. So what do you set your value on? It can't be you. It can't be you. Some of y'all not feeling like I'm about to say this. The reason why it cannot be you is because you switch on you too much. You do. Sometimes you like to forgive. Sometimes you don't. You can't do where is there predictability? Where is there consistency? you're going to have to get to the point to where your value is set to something that is unchangeable. Now, if you're religious, that would be your God. Fair enough? Now, I want you to think about your God just for a moment, if you don't mind. And I want you to list in your head all the things your God gets angry about. Go ahead. Ain't that many, huh? Now, come back to us. Come on, you see where I'm going. Who in here got that list past 30? Don't lie, because I went straight to a high number on purpose. I want to raise their hands. I understand. You understand. Okay, let me pull you into this keynote. How many of you, if they cheat on you, it's over, it's a wrap, done. Boom, done.
That's me.
That's you? Now watch this here. Let me get the rest of it. If they lie to you, it's over. No? You let the people lie to you? And cheat on you?
Did you eat my cookies live?
Oh, okay. What about lie? Everybody get a second chance. Can I get a third one? Can I get a third chance?
No, you get no third.
Okay, all right. Now we got somebody keep it real. Can I get a fourth chance with anybody? Can I get a fourth chance?
What kind of lies you talking about? Like,
I'm talking about big lies.
Like
I'm talking about lies.
Your money lies?
Ooh. Can I get real with you?
The
lies that make her,
baby lie.
the lies that make other people talk about you and you don't even know.
No, you got to go.
Right? That's fair. That's fair. You got to go. Will anybody let?
You just gonna let that man leave because somebody told you what he said about you?
No. I'm talking about that I gave someone an opportunity to laugh at you.
Wow.
Them lies.
We don't even get nobody.
Them kind of. Okay, can we say that it's a big lie?
Yeah.
It's a big lie, right?
You ain't gonna make fun of me. So
No, I'm out here giving I'm out here giving other people the opportunity to make fun of you. I'm out the door. I'm out the door. I'm out the door. She said I'm out the door. Your eyebrows on point too, by the way. Right? I'm out the door, right? You understand? Now, think about it. Just think about it for a second. Does your God say the same thing? It's fairness. That's a fair question. Does your God say the same thing you just said?
No.
All right.
Returning and forgiving over and over again.
I always use that as my excuse.
I got a point number 2.
Okay. Take them back.
You right?
Okay.
Right.
That right there.
I got a point number 2 that's going to make you appreciate me after I build this point. So it's all good. But you're right, though. Don't let nobody do that to you. You're right. You're absolutely right. But value needs to be juxtaposed to that thing. Not your standards, because they suck, and you know it. See that? This is why most people are not successful. Most people are not successful because you lie to yourself. That's why I keep lying to you, because you lie to you. It is I'm looking across the room, waiting to see who lies to himself, and now all of a sudden I'm attracted to you. You wouldn't even nobody talk about life, but I am now. Because you fit what I get over on. Is this too real?
No, it keeps
Okay. I'm sitting across the room, I'm watching you lie to you, and I go, shh, that's baby right there. And I'm ready now. And if you tell me you get food stamps, it's going down. You's a keeper.
Steak and shrimp.
The simple takeaway here is knowing your value. What I try to do is redefine it for you. Don't just take it as a cliche. Take it as an ongoing action to where your value ain't on your standards. Some standard that never changes. That's the point there. That has to be. Until you do that, you're going to keep attracting into your life what you are.
Yes.
So you don't get to complain about your harvest when you're the one that planted the seeds.
Say that one more time.
Yeah. It's you. When you don't get to complain about your life when you're the one that planted the seeds. You planted the seeds. Yeah. You did it. And the man in your life is what you attracted. It just is what it is. I don't mean no harm, But we got to get to the, and see, we not real, since it's mostly, since it's all black folk in here. I need to put my weight on it.
Go ahead, Dan.
We lie to us, because we've been taught to lie to us. Can I give you a few lies?
Go ahead, brother.
You better put on them clean drawers. You never know when the ambulance is coming.
Every time we get ready to get dressed,
You ain't took no bath. You ain't took no bath. You just put on them clean drawers because of ambulance. You know, it ain't not the ambulance. It's ambulance. You understand what I'm saying? They coming. That is a lie. That is a bold-faced lie. It should be getting there and make sure them ankles is clean, and you ain't got no dirt rubbing off your neck, and you actually clean before you start leaving that streak in them underwear. It should be something like that. But, you know, or go and get in that kitchen and cook them onions. Now, this is real old school. Cook them onions. We ain't got nothing. We want to make sure the neighbors smell some food like we got something. Or, what happens in this house?
Stays in the snow.
That's exactly why. Rape and molestation kills our communities. To even go see a therapist is of the devil.
They won't do it. You go to God.
It's weak. Yeah, go to God. Because, you know, because God shows up as a therapist whenever you need him. Come on. We got to be real. Go get some help.
Yes, sir.
Because this... Can I push you off?
Go ahead.
Because the folk that taught you not to go get help is oppressing you by going to get the doggone help you ain't getting. Can I push you harder one more time? No, I promise.
Push it over the
They told you not to be a bully. Then voted one in.
Oh.
Go ahead, drop the mic.
Live now.
Drop your invisible mic.
Oh, I did what I said. I did what I said. All right. I jollifies. Point number 2 is put me back in good graces with you. You're going to know your value. That's point number 1. But then you got to value your time. You, which is greater than knowing your value. Because while you're sitting here in religious land, and you can't get divorced, and you can't make the family look bad, because we think like this, because we don't own nothing else. The only thing black folk own is our worship and our standards. That's it. Anything else, they police. Okay? Now, you're going to have to decide, just by objective observation, is knowing my value with this person taking away my time with my dreams. Wish I had somebody. Really? That was fast. Okay. She give me a 10-minute down, which made 10 minutes down. Okay, she give me a 10-minute down. You're gonna have to make sure that you can. This is why that values objectively to something is very important, because now you have to objectively decide: is this person worth my dreams? There's somebody in my crew that was raising a loser. This is the way I said it. I got very mad at me when I said it this way. Very mad. Very mad. You can tell I don't have that much empathy, right? I'm very, very mad when I said it this way. But I hit him with science. You kind of touched on it. The trauma we go through, your child is born with 50% of their personality. And it's coming through the mother's experience in the womb. The science. We give birth to losers. We do. Because, I know it's tough when you say that. That's tough. No. Fair enough. When we don't have control of us, when we don't work on personal development, when we vibrate at the wrong frequency, when we allow ourselves to be abused spiritually, emotionally, physically. There's another one. I'm sorry. Spiritually is the really one. Because there is such thing as spiritual abuse. You can just walk in any. Leave the church alone today. You can though. She's a scientist. She live up here all week. I asked her to come to church. She got a time travel to come way down here on Sunday. It's unfair. It's totally unfair. But anyway. Make sure that you value your own time. It's vital. Because when you put your time first, you realize it's all you got.
Yes.
At the end of the day, time is all you have.
Yes.
It's not money. It's not credit. It's time. Because on your deathbed, you won't think, man, I wish I had more credit. It's time. I can just get to that 820. I can die and go to heaven. No, that's not what you're thinking. That's not what you're thinking at all. I like that. Yeah, VIP area with this credit score. I got the 400 count sheets in heaven. My credit. Not gonna happen. Point number 3. Number 3. So let me just to make this cohesive. Knowing your value, ongoing. Make sure you got it juxtaposed to something objective. Then you're going to know that your time is greater than anybody else's. In fact, I can't even move on. You have to know that. Because if you don't, you're teaching our children that their time is not precious. Children do what they have been shown, not what they have been told. And when I show my boys that my time is not valued, and they mama can take it however they want to, or whatever, I also show them that's the standard of a relationship. And I just then give birth to a loser and nurture them. And you don't want my 10-year-old boy, I'm talking about my kids now, and my 6-year-old boy to date your daughters if they ain't got their stuff together. And that's fair.
Yes.
That's absolutely fair. Vice versa, absolutely. Absolutely, that's absolutely fair. Know your value. And then this one here. Master appreciation. The actual word, appreciation, means to increase in value. If you got somebody that doesn't constantly increase your value, that ain't the right person. It can't be. Because the word depreciate means to decrease in value. By default, appreciation means to increase in value. And if every day I see you and I don't see you greater than what you were yesterday, I'm wrong. I'm dead wrong. And I don't get to lay next to you and sleep with you if I ain't increased you.
Okay, increased me. I'm sorry. Oh, I was having flashback.
If I didn't lift you up, I don't get to lay you down.
Hey,
okay.
That's fair. Last one. I was standing in Houston Baptist University. I don't know if I was undergrad or not. This old white guy. His name was Bob. He pastored for 20-some years. He's big too. He was big, 6'6" white guy. And I thought he was so out of touch. He asked the class, what should we base our marriages on? Everybody gave a tip answer, love and stuff like that. He said, oh, you wrong. Now, I don't like when people start competing, so I had to have something to say. You understand? I had some misguided aggression this day. First off, I'm paying to be here. Watch your mouth. You understand what I'm saying? Secondly, I ain't wrong. That's the right doggone answer because they told me that's the right answer. And then he says, oh, you're wrong. Base your relationships on forgiveness because love is too volatile. And forgiveness is the highest form of love. Blew my mind. I didn't even know I was going to school to hear that day. But wasn't he right?
Yes, I understand that.
Because even if I'm never going to take you back, I have the joy of releasing you to bother somebody else.
Yeah.
I wish I spoke in tongues. It'd go right there. Just just to, I get to release you so you can go bother somebody else with no ill feelings. Because I know that somebody out there is attracting your sorry self. And it's all good. I can't save them, and I'm tired of saving you. The best thing I can do is lift you and release you. And the only way, and thank her for taking your burden. And the only way to release anybody is to let them go. And that's actually the Latin word for forgiveness. To let go. Just to absolutely let it go. Favorite story I love to tell about a boy named Malcolm. He was autistic. And in his autism, he was an autistic savant, which means that he locked on something and was very good at it. This time, he was good at building ships. Malcolm, 6 years old, built a ship, put it out in the lake. Dad was watching. Wind took the ship away. Malcolm cried. Because that's all he had. The kids messed with him. He was homeschooled. It was a problem. One day, the next week, Dad went to the town, took Malcolm with him. They saw the ship Malcolm built in the window. And so Malcolm says, Daddy, I need that ship. Sure. Goes inside there and he meets a store owner like our neighbors. Don't give a doggone. I want to say something else, but you understand. So I'm like, look, you can have it for $25. Looks at Malcolm. Malcolm got his eyes open, says, no problem, gives me $25. And then Malcolm walks out the side of the store and says something powerful. He says, now I love you twice. First, because I made you. Secondly, because I paid for you. If you are not with a mate that thinks you were made by something great and not willing to pay for you because you were made by something great, leave them alone. Antonio T. Smith Jr., you can plant better. You can dominate.
All right.
It's time for y'all to stop quitting so much. This is all I want to talk about today. I want to talk about how much of a quitter you are and how you need to be willing to go die for it or go back and die in it. You see where I'm going now? Yeah. So here's the issue. Now let me give you some background. It's very simple. And I hope you receive this. I hope I hurt your whole feelings tonight. Because you need to understand that you are a quitter. And everything wrong with your life is completely your fault. Stop blaming everybody else. Stop getting mad at everything else. You need to literally go die for the next level or quit. Go back and go die in it. Yeah. Did you hear what I just said? Yeah. So let me break this down. The children of Israel just literally got freed from slavery hours ago. And it was a miraculous freedom of slavery. Like, it was so cold that there were 10 miracles that happened. Yeah. And then they left balling out of control. They didn't just get free from slavery. They watched God do crazy things. Yeah. And then they left with more than what they had. Right. Yeah. Right. That's the scripture. And in this text, they crying about going back. Y'all quit far too much. Listen, I'm telling you, you quit. You quit. You don't have what you want because you quit too much. You ain't never finished nothing in your whole life. You don't finish, you divorced because you didn't keep fighting. You're not in school because you didn't keep fighting. Your kids act crazy because you didn't keep fighting. Everything that you have that is wrong with your life is your fault because you quit too much. Now you're getting ready to start talking and make New Year's resolutions, and I'm all for New Year's resolutions, and I believe you can have every single resolution in which you speak of and believe of. Anything that your mind can conceive, the will inside of you can achieve. Right. But I'm telling you, you are not what you need if you keep quitting. All right? That's right. So you either going to go die for it, or you going to go back and go live in it.
And let's break this down for a second from a textual standpoint. They crying about going back into slavery. Do not get it twisted. Here's the deal. They hungry. They free, but they hungry. And they tired. And they would rather go back and get beat down than be independent. Did you hear what I just said? Some of you have been so conditioned to lose, it is far more comfortable for you to keep losing than to start winning. Wow. You either going to die for what you want, or you're going to go back and go live in it. That's every relationship, the old you, your credit score, if whatever you want, if you are not willing to go die for it, it is far more useful to you, your children, and the Lord for you to be willing to die for the next level he's pushing you to. Come on now. Than for you to complain and go back to the very thing he rescued you from. Come on now. I know I'm making sense, right? Listen, the difference between them who are successful and you is you quit. They didn't. Right? You try to make it about Lisa Nichols, a wonderful, wonderful motivational speaker. Lisa Nichols says it this way, that people use her success to have an excuse to be losing. They look at her and say, you talented, and they write themselves off. Well, I'm not that talented, so I'm not going to make it. Too much, you quit far too much. And you keep using other people's success so you can lose. Because it's far easier for you not to try than for you to actually try and fail. Back to the text. They free, but in their mind, they still slaves. Right? What would make you want slavery over freedom? Come on now. But here's the deal. We do it every day. That's true. We stick with the same sorry people and jobs. Listen, some of y'all, the reason some of y'all are sick because your job is literally making you sick. It's still on. I just want to make sure that I ain't taking this thing off. Amen. Some of you, biologically, your body is killing you because you're going to the same job that you settled for in the first place. Ooh. Good. You claim you love the Lord. You say you trust him, but you don't trust him to leave the job making you sick because you got bills. Y'all hear what I just said? You gonna go die for it, or you gonna go back and die in it? So listen. And here's the deal. I'm gonna challenge you just for a second, because this. If you think I'm walking hard, this next thing is finna hurt. Here's the deal. Some of you say, "Well, I believe in God." No, you don't. No, you believe in the idea of God. Because to believe in something means I ain't got no plan B. Don't say you trust him, but I'm going to hold on to this job that's making me sick. You can't trust him and have a plan B. You got to do this. You either going to die for this next level, or you're going to go back and live in the very same thing that's keeping you in slavery. Yeah. Now, it ain't just about jobs. That may be your driveway, but not everybody else. Relationships the same way. I know it. I don't like it when we start talking about relationships in church. Talk about it. Talk about it. But the very thing holding you back from God is most of your relationships. Talk about it. If you get in the right relationship, you fool around and be a millionaire. Come on now. But some of y'all like bald head and tattoos and give it the wrong relationship. Come on now. Amen. 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 I ain't saying nothing wrong with that. Ain't nothing wrong with that. But get you the bald head and tattoos that get you to be a millionaire. Amen. Amen. Listen, you have to be able to understand that if you're not willing to die for the next level, you're going to die in this level. Now, you got to ask yourself this question. Is your life equal to this level? Think about that. Think, like, I don't know where you are. I don't know. I'm just asking you a simple question. Is the potential of your life, is it equal to this level? Right? Like, I mean, just this honest question. Were you born for this level? Amen? If the answer is no, when is a good time to start living a life worthy of you? They slaves. They're no longer slaves geographically, in their time and place in the land, or their geographical location in time, but in their mind, they crying to go back to slavery. You know why they want to go back to slavery?
That's all they know.
That's all they know. Now check this out. How many folk you know, the prison system call it recidivism. You know why they keep doing this recidivism? Besides the fact that that's all they know, you know why? It's easier to have somebody else feed me than me feed me.
Wow.
Can I break down slavery for you?
Yeah, go ahead.
You gonna do all the work. You gonna give me unearned income, but I'm gonna take care of you. Now, some of you, that's
Cool with that.
you okay with that.
Yeah.
Now, can I tell you what slavery looked like in the 21st century? That's welfare. Come on now, help me out, somebody. That's that job you don't like. Anything that's allowing you to be comfortable at lesser of your value, you a slave to it. And if you're not careful, you will attach yourself with two people that will allow you to be comfortable with slavery.
Wow.
They'll get you dressed up in stilettos. You two slaves in stilettos. Broke.
Wow.
But you look good.
Wow.
It makes no sense to have God lift you out of this level and then literally walk you to the next level, and you turn around and run back because you're comfortable being uncomfortable. I promise you I'm in the text. I'm trying to give you this text in a modern way. These folk, Moses has to say, he's the first word to say, fear not, stand firm. But y'all won't stand for nothing.
Come on now.
And then the things you do stand for, they trash. The stuff you actually stand for are the very principles that have you in poverty and slavery right now. You won't stand for a promotion on your job, but you will stand as somebody owe you $20 and you won't forgive them.
Wow.
So you about your money over here, but you won't work hard about your money over here. Am I making sense? I know this is tough. I sure apologize. I don't know. Listen, I ain't got, this is part of a series. This was already written down in the next two. Let me just tell you, they written down too. And this is the least of these. Amen. So you ain't gonna like to just avoid next Monday and the Monday, especially the one after Christmas. You know I'm gonna hit you real hard after Christmas. Because you're gonna be nice and comfortable. I gotta knock that out of you. Because you ain't got no more weeks after Christmas. That next Monday is the new year. Amen. You understand what I'm saying? Listen, you need to understand that they free, but they not free.
Right.
They look free. They walking towards freedom, and they trying as hard as they can to go back. And if it wasn't for their leader and their God, they would still be slaves today. Some of you are only this kind of free because your grandmother keep praying for you. I must be the only person with a praying grandmother. Amen. Amen. Some of you, your mama has been your salvation for a long time. If it wasn't for your mama, you'd be somewhere still strung out on drugs or strung out. Listen, some of the folk you with will push you to drugs. Amen. And it hurts so bad in your head that the only way you can stop thinking about how much underachieving you're actually doing is to take another drink. Come on now, amen. I know I'm talking to somebody. Listen, if you listen, I need you to share this to as many people as can get it. Because if you don't start talking to yourself differently, you can forget this new year. It's just going to be a new calendar day in the old slavery life in which you live.
2018.
I'm going to ask you that same question again. Is your life equal to this moment? Like, I don't know. I don't know where you are. If you got everything in your life, you did a great job. But I'm just asking you don't answer out loud. I'm asking you that when you lay across your life and you say, yes, this is what I've accomplished. I'm asking you, were you born for what you've accomplished? Y'all hear what I'm saying? I challenge you. I see some of y'all taking notes. I want you to write that down. Was I born for what I have accomplished? And if the answer is no, you ain't doing that. I mean, the only person doing that to you is you. It ain't my fault.
Right.
It ain't her fault.
Right.
And if you with somebody that's always messing you over, you allow that to happen, so it's your fault.
Come on, guys.
You know the easiest way to leave somebody that don't love you? Leave and don't tell them. Man, I promise you, they keep cutting off my mic. Listen. They fool around with the word, came back, all your stuff gone. You know why you got to do that? Because manipulative people know how to manipulate you. You know for sure he cheated. You got all the evidence. And he fooled around and told you the right thing. And you went, well, maybe not. Amen. I said he. Let me say, you know she. I'm going to get out of there. Amen. You know she. I want to talk about that. Amen. Listen. Sometimes you just got to do what the Lord told you to do without notifying people. See, a lot of y'all out here Facebook shining. Y'all out here Facebook shining. You out here posting your every move. And then now you done gave me all this stuff I could judge you for. And I'm waiting. You said you was going to have that. And matter of fact, Facebook's so petty, it will remind me a year from now. I'm trying to help somebody. Amen. It will remind me a year from now what you said you was going to do. Stop telling me you're going to lose 60 pounds. Just go lose it. And show up winning. So, come on, man. Listen. If you have a problem with somebody, then stop telling them you got a problem. If the Lord told you move, just move. Don't notify them, because if you notify manipulative people, they will manipulate you just to win in that moment. Convince you they're going to be okay. Give them 48 hours and they're going to show you exactly what they made of. Some of y'all, I'm feeling one. I ain't fucking listen. Y'all might want to turn this off now. I'm about to walk far too hard. I'm about to say something too wrong. Some of y'all only with that man because he a good babysitter. Wow. Some of y'all only with that man because he's a good babysitter. He don't do you no good. He don't pay no bills. You just can't afford daycare. Amen. And he there. Come on now, help me out somebody. Amen. Amen. You know, I can't trust my kids with everybody. I trust them with this food. At least he loves his kids. Come on, I'm trying to. I know I'm telling the truth up in here. Amen. Amen. You're a slave. You would have put yourself in a predicament to be a slave, and you're a slave to somebody that you would ask yourself this question: if you were you now, then would you even date that person? See, all these answers, all these questions is no. You tripping. You tripping. But why? Back to the text, because you a slave. Because you want to be free, but it's uncomfortable being free. It's uncomfortable not knowing what's up. See, that's the deal. We don't mind when God says no. Listen, you front all you want to. When God say no, it don't even bother you. As long as he say no immediately. Wow. But when he tarry and take a long time saying no, well, that bothers you real good. See, we love yeses. All right, Lord, no, it ain't in your will. But when he don't say nothing, that bothers us. See, we don't like uncertainty because we all suffer from control issues. Can I tell you what fear is? Fear is these hypothetical things inside your mind. that are freezing you in the present. And because you can't control the future, you lock yourself in the present and do some stuff about some stuff that ain't even happened yet. And so a lot of you not succeeding, you still slaves because you know what? At least I know when I'm going to get beat. At least I know when I'm going to eat. At least I know if I just do this, master won't say nothing. But you can't go out there and be on your own because you don't know what's going on out there. And that's your real problem. Your real problem is you have major issues with control. And you would rather suffer because you can control that. But you won't go fly because you can't control the unknown. Am I helping somebody in this place? I had to tell one of my people, you trying to fly, but you're afraid of turbulence. You can't have both. You got to pick a struggle. You have to be afraid of flying, right? You either going to fly and then get over your fear of turbulence, or you going to let the fear of turbulence keep you on the ground. But you would never fly without hitting no air pockets. Come on, I'm trying to help y'all out in this place. You cannot, you got to pick a struggle. And listen, I don't know about y'all, but I'm tired of being broke.
Right.
I tried the broke thing. It don't feel good. I don't like no part of it. Right. It's usually, just listen, if I'm going to cry, I need to cry in a paid off car.
Right?
That's just me, man. Y'all trying to have car notes for the next 60 years. Amen. I'm just saying that you got to have in your mind a different conversation. And if you're not willing to go die for it, you automatically doom yourself to go back and die in it. If you're not willing to go die for what you want, you will literally die in what you are in. Now, ask yourself this question. Is what you are in worthy of you? I sure hope y'all get as many people. Listen, y'all need to share this because somebody need to hear this. Is what you are in worthy of you? And here's the deal. If it's not, then you are not willing to die for it. But you setting yourself up to die in it. You need to only die in what you're willing to die for.
Come on now.
God ain't sent you here to be abused. You already gotta have bad days. Man's life is for a few days. And that whole few days will be full of pain. If you already got to go through pain, it don't make no more sense to get somebody to add more pain on top of your pain. And that job you hold on to, did the Lord send you there? Right? Listen, sometimes God will send us places. And then we'll stay there longer than which he intended.
Yep, that's right. That's right.
In the Bible, 1 Kings chapter 17, we find out about Elijah the Tishbite. And Elijah is told by God himself, you need to get up and you need to go to the brook Kerith.
Yeah.
And you need to go to the brook Kerith. I'm going to take care of you, Elijah. I'm going to hold you down, Elijah. I'm going to have ravens who are scavengers. They're going to feed you 3 times meat daily. And I'm going to have you drink from the brook. Yeah. Now check this out, Elijah, because I love you. The brook should be dried up because I done closed up the heavens. Right. It ain't raining, so it shouldn't be there, but I'm going to keep it there just for you. I'm holding you down, Elijah. Yes. And the text says, then the Lord dried up the brook. Yeah. Now, all of us do well when God's taking care of us. Here's where we suffer. When the Lord dries up the brook, we don't know when to move. Wow. See, Elijah moves. And the text, 1 Kings 17 chapter, you can look this up yourself. The text says, then he goes to the widow of Zarephath. And then when he meets that widow, she gives him a blessing. And then he uses the power of the Lord. And not only can he, her son, and him eat forever, But he would have never got that had he stayed dried up at the brook.
Come on, man.
There's two different types of blessings the Lord has that I can see biblically in his foundational text that we call the Bible. He says that I will supply all your needs.
Yeah, that's it.
But then he says, I'll do exceedingly and abundantly above all that you can ask or think. Now, since he loves you,
Come on now.
when he dries up the brook, you need to learn how to go. But you stubborn. So you sit there drinking teaspoons out the brook. And since he loves you, he makes sure there's a teaspoon there every time you reach down. But that ain't how I want to live. See, I'm trying to get to the widow of Zarephath. I'm trying to get to the meal in which that has no end. I'm trying to help somebody in this place. Amen. I'm not trying for him to supply my needs, keep my gas light on 20 miles longer than what it was supposed to be. I'm trying to drive electric cars that don't even need no gas. I'm trying to help somebody in this place today.
Ooh, yes.
But we stay at the brook, right? We get right there at the brook. And we eat and drink teaspoons. And we lose 60 pounds and we convince ourselves it was on purpose. When all you had to do was learn how to move when the Lord dried it up.
Yes.
But you know what? It's easier to almost die of dehydration than it is to walk out.
Wow.
See, Elijah didn't know the widow of Zarephath was coming. But you won't know until you start walking. See, come on now. You ought to help me out in this place. Amen. You won't know where you're going. But here's the deal. How has nothing to do with you. There's a wonderful story which I love to tell. And it's actually from the movie The Secret. Okay? And I love that John Canfield, he writes a chicken noodle soup for the soul. He gives a great illustration inside this movie and this book. And I'm going to repeat it to you here. And this is an extra biblical illustration, but I promise you it's the Bible all up in it. He says you can get from where you are to California. Okay, so let's just say Texas. You can get from Texas to California. And you never have to see California. All you have to do at nighttime is cut on your lights. And 200 feet at a time, the headlights will show you the way. Some of y'all won't even move because you can't see the way. But since you're not moving, you can't see the way. And then God didn't say you need to see all the way. I'll show you 200 feet at a time. You can literally leave right now at 8 o'clock tonight and drive all the way, get to I-10, drive all the way to California, never see California, can't see 300 feet in front of you, and it don't matter, because if you can see 200 feet in front of you, the next foot will show you another somebody missing what I'm saying. And if you can just go 200 feet at a time in your breakthrough, that's all you need to do.
Yes.
But you don't get up and walk. And so you have to understand that the difference between them who are successful and you is they're not afraid to drive at nighttime.
Yeah, I like that.
You don't need to see the way. You need to move.
Yeah.
If you move, the way will be shown to you.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Now let's apply that into real life situations. I don't know how I'm going to live without him. Just live. God will show you how you're going to live without him. I'm trying to help somebody in this place. I don't know how I'm going to pay my bills next month. Maybe, just maybe, you're not financially intelligent and the Lord wants you to let go of them bills keeping you broke in the first place. So he can teach you something. And so you can start living off just what you need until you get some proper skills and you give up everything now to get back everything that you ever wanted. I promise you, I know I'm talking about in this place. You need to be able to understand that you're a slave. You should be free. And God has freed you. But you keep running back to the very thing you don't want to be at. See, driving to California, listen, we all know you just hit I-10, but you don't know where the snake's at. You don't know if you're going to catch a flat tire. You don't know all that stuff. You don't know all that. We don't know where the police are. Move. When you my color, you got to worry about the police. I don't mean to be political. I just want to throw that out there. I had to put that in my illustration. Amen. 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 Right? Amen. The Lord is good, but I still know where I'm at. Amen. I'm in America. Amen. But here's the deal. You need to understand that if you just move, the way will be shown to you. But that works both ways. Because if you move towards slavery, the way will be shown to you. Regardless of how you move, the way will be shown to you. So let me liberate you. Whether you make the worst decision of your life, God said, I'll be with you always. That means if you fool around and go to jail, He's going to be right there. That means if you pick the wrong mate, He's going to be right there. That means if you go back to your drug addiction, He's going to be right there. It doesn't matter. You're paralyzed because you're afraid to make a decision. Just move and make a decision. Because left or right, He will be with you. Let me pray for you.
Meet Peter. Peter wants to live his dreams. He searched online to find training that will help. Then he came across Plant Better University. Plant Better University is the Netflix of personal development. Every month, new classes are added to bring value to your membership. Become a master of finance, personal development, sales training, business, real estate, investing, public speaking, health, psychology, and more. Imagine if you could get a master's degree of information on any topic of your dreams for a price lower than a Netflix membership. Become successful simply because success is your birthright. Contact us today.